In this video, I want to share with you my 3 favorite spirits to play in Spirit Island. This is my favorite game of all time, so I'm so excited to talk to you guys even more about Spirit Island. So let's get into it. Hey guys, I'm Evan and this is Being Friends, and we are a channel dedicated to sharing with you how board games can help you connect with others, as well as just talk about some of our favorite games in detail, why we love them. I'm excited to talk to you about my favorite spirits in Spirit Island based on things like theme, lore, fun factor, dope cool factor, which basically means the level of awesome moments you can have with them, as well as how fun it is to have that spirit on your team. If you don't know a lot about Spirit Island, I'm going to share with you just some of my favorite spirits to play in this game, and hopefully that might give you a good idea about some of the things that make this game so great. But if you're like me and you love Spirit Island and you keep on playing it and it never gets old, I want to hear what your favorite spirits are. So let me know down in the comments below which ones you love to play the most. So far, having the base game and a couple expansions, I have 12 spirits, and they all play vastly differently, and that's one of my favorite things about this game. My number 1 on the list, I keep on playing it because it's so good. And man, I'm never gonna forget the first time I played with that spirit, and I'm super excited to share that with you guys. For the record, I pretty much enjoy every single one of the spirits I have so far. I think like 6 or 7 of them tie for number 3 because I love all of them so much. But my number 2 and number 1 are for sure my favorites, and they're the best ones. They're just the absolute best ones. So this video was in part inspired by One Pip Wonder. She made a video over on her channel talking about her favorite spirits, and so I'm doing the same thing. We are both massive fans of Spirit Island, so what's gonna be my favorite? My number 3 favorite spirit in Spirit Island is Heart of the Wildfire. I love Heart of the Wildfire for many reasons. For one, I just love how he looks. It's just this fire guy. He just looks like he's having fun. I'll read a little bit of the lore for you guys because I find the lore in Spirit Island to be absolutely fantastic. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. Things like the way that they name things, as well as just what has happened in this island. The history is fascinating. So this is, the Heart of the Wildfire says that it is a spirit of natural destruction and renewal after destruction, though those whose lands have been scored by flame don't usually much appreciate the latter. It thrives near human habitations, glorying in their fires and sparks, but has existed on the island since long before the Dahan arrived, a child of the volcano and the green. The wildfire is a long-standing friend of the Dahan. The early slash and burn agriculture, which turned most spirits against them, gave it the best decades it had in centuries. It later supported the Dahan during the Second Reckoning, backing their threats of reprisal. It doesn't interact with the Dahan often these years, but spares their villages as best it can and fights the invaders in large part for them. To me, it really does feel like this is a child spirit, a kid who's just kind of immature, but is just trying to have a good time as well as destroy pretty much everything. This spirit is basically a wildfire, and everywhere you go, you have the power to kill so much so early. The way that that works technically is that you have these fire elements on your growth tracks, and every time you place a presence, depending on how many are revealed, that's how much damage you do in the island. If you do 2 or more damage like that, you actually add blight to the island. That's not good. So every time you place presence, which happens every turn and sometimes more depending on certain card abilities, you destroy stuff. And so once you have 3 of these fire elements showing, you can just kill a city in the growth phase, and then you do all your stuff. So your destructive capabilities are absolutely insane. The problem is, like I said, you add blight to the island on your own. Usually that's something that just the invaders are doing, but the Heart of the Wildfire is taking part in that role of destroying the island a little bit, which is very accurate. It makes sense thematically, and I love that for that reason. It also introduces you to this really interesting puzzle where you have to balance your destruction as well as how much blight you're personally adding to the island, and that balance is so fun and so difficult, but I really like it. This spirit also has the ability to remove blight and heal the island using its the burned land using its ability called the burned land regrows. And so if you can do this well, you can actually destroy a ton of stuff, add blight, but then remove it, and it's as if you never added blight in the first place. So doing well with the spirit is just so fun because you get to just do insanely flashy and like insane damage. Like your Firestorm ability, watch out, you're about to do so much stuff. If you generate 7 fire, you just destroy all invaders in the land. I've actually never done that. I've played this Spirit a lot and I've never done that, which makes me want to play this guy again. So this Spirit has so much potential and I find it to be an absolute joy to play. He's just so cute. That's it. I'm thinking about making a guide for every single Spirit in Spirit Island, not only detailing how to play with them, but also how to use them well as what are some of my favorite cards for that Spirit, and maybe what other Spirits they work really well with. So if that's something that would be interesting to you, as well as other content about Spirit Island, make sure you like this video and comment down below what Spirit Island content you would like to see, whether it be those guides or something completely different. Let me know. My next favorite Spirit in Spirit Island is Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares. In my opinion, this has got to be one of the best designed Spirits in the game, as well as one of the best designed anythings in any game, because they completely flip the game on its head for Bringer in a way that's so fascinating as well as incredibly thematic. In case I decide I want to add a little more lore about these spirits, I'm going to do it. When the moon is bright and the leaves overhead are thin enough to let stray beams fall to earth, the Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares may sometimes be spied, an apparition of pale light and deep shadow. Seen this way, it will neither stop nor acknowledge attempts to communicate with it, whether by Dahan or Spirit. It might not even be there at all. Perhaps it's a reflection of a self somewhere else entirely, the realm of the Pathmaker, or some strange road that borders it. But beings which dream hear from the Bringer frequently, even if they rarely remember it. Certain patterns may even call its attention if drawn with sand and scattered with breath before sleep. Since the invaders came, it has tended towards more terrifying forms even well before the current conflict arose. Interesting. So that means that the Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares has taken many forms, and sometimes it's not actually super scary, but because of the invaders are there, it's more often than not just trying to be super scary. Makes me want to know a little more about him before the invaders came. What was he doing? Just giving people nice dreams of pillows and fairies and Twizzlers. Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares' main goal, main abilities, as well as pretty much almost entirely all it can do is generate fear. In a normal game of Spirit Island, fear is kind of like a secondary objective which makes the game easier to win, but it's not the main goal in a way. It kind of is, but it's kind of not. If you know how to play, you know what I mean. If you don't know how to play, then I'll basically explain it right here. To win the game, you have to either kill all the invaders or make them so scared that they're gonna just leave. At the same time as you're scaring them, the terror level increases. So there's 3 terror levels. Terror level 1, you have to kill everything. Terror level 2, you just have to kill the towns and cities. And once you get to terror level 3, all you have to kill is the cities. Most of the time, you're gonna win on terror level 3 because it makes killing everything way easier, because all you have to kill, again, is the cities. But Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares often wins on terror level 4, which is just you straight up win the game immediately when you get there. Because of the amount of fear that this spirit can generate, you're just rushing through the fear deck, getting tons of abilities, and really actually able to utilize those to your advantage way more, because you have abilities like you can look at the fear cards in the deck before they resolve, so you can plan ahead and use those. The way that they make this all work out, where he's entirely about fear and whatever, is that anytime he would destroy an explorer, instead he pushes them. And when he would kill a town and city, he generates much more fear than any other spirit. Instead of 1 and 2 fear for towns and cities respectively, he gets 2 and 5. So killing a city is equal to killing 2 cities in a town for other spirits in regards to how much fear he generates, because he's absolutely scary. What that basically thematically means is that anytime the Bringer of Dreams and Nightmare would kill something, what's actually happening is he's implanting a nightmare in the invaders' minds, and they're terrified, so they run away. So you're pushing them to a different land. That is fantastic for so many reasons, because for one, it means that you actually are weak in a way, because you cannot kill anything really. You basically have to just push them around and kind of like deal with them later and move them to different places where they're not nearly as much of a threat, but they're not dead, so they're gonna come back and hurt you probably soon. So that makes the game flip on its head, because now this guy can't kill anybody, and all you're doing is pushing them around. And so you're trying to mitigate the invaders in such an interesting way. Just like how the wildfire increases the amount of the blight balance as part of the game, Bringer of Dreams does that with just the invaders' presence on the land, because again, I can't heal anything. It also is so dope because when you're doing major powers that do tons of damage, most spirits do it and it kills everything and you're like, heck yeah. But the Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares, say it has the Tsunami card, destroys a ton of guys on one of the coastal lands and they just run away. And instead of actually destroying anyone, they all just basically had a giant group nightmare of a giant tsunami and they're absolutely terrified. And to me, that's so cool. So Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares is so cool, as well as he has some of my favorite cards in the game, innate powers in the game, as well as I love his growth tracks. He's just such a fun spirit to play. For one, he has these two abilities. One of them lets him look at the fear cards in the fear deck before you do them, which means you can predict what the invaders will do when you get that fear card and plan ahead and make it as useful as possible, which is really powerful. Usually those fear cards sometimes do something really good and sometimes do nothing, but the Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares lets you use the fear deck to your advantage even more. He also, if he has 3 moons, he can give another spirit or himself one of any element that they already have, which means he's a fantastic support character to have on your team. That is super useful to get those early powerful innates triggered, and it's just super helpful and really fun, because whenever you're playing and you're just thinking about what you can do, and your teammate who's playing the Bringer of Dreams is like, do you want another element? And you're like, yeah, yes, that would be so useful. It's just fun. That's that. I almost said what spirits One Pip Wonder put on her list, but for you to find that out, you're just gonna have to click on our video, see if we have any crossover. I'm not gonna tell you what the answer is. But seriously, One Pip Wonder has an amazing channel. I really love all of her content. Her videos really just have a super upbeat and fun mood that I absolutely love. And I also love that she loves Spirit Island as well. This guy, I played him so many times. I keep playing him because he's so fun. I've already said this, but man, it's just a golden spirit that is just so well designed, and I am so excited to talk about it. My number 1 favorite spirit is Ocean's Hungry Grasp. I'm gonna go ahead and read a little bit of this lore for you guys. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna put it in the video. You'll know if I put it in the video. I don't know right now though. The hunger of the ocean runs deep and powerful, sometimes patient, sometimes tempestuous and angry. It slowly wears away at rocky shores or devours half an island during a hurricane. It lures humans out onto the water with its siren call, then consumes ship and crew alike unless the proper offerings are made. The ocean's voraciousness keeps the Dahan from frequent sea travel, though they still manage a trading expedition every decade or so. These trading trips take the cooperation of several families and always involve at least 2 spirit speakers. That way, even if one perishes abroad, the expedition will still be able to get home. So that's fantastic. The ocean is got anger issues, and whenever the Dahan need to travel by sea, they have to have 2 spirit speakers that can say, "Ocean, stop, please!" Ocean's Hungry Grasp is a spirit which obviously is the ocean. And so in the game of Spirit Island, the ocean spots on the board don't really do anything, but when you play the ocean, that is a land that you can be in. The ocean can place its presence in the ocean spaces on the board, which just makes sense. But it also lets you, if you push things into the ocean, you can drown them, which is so good. So the way the ocean works is that my presence is on the ocean and I go to the coastal lands and I basically can drown different invaders, as well as if anyone ever on the team pushes an invader into an ocean where I have presence, it drowns them as well, which that's a fun thing to have on your team, because now if anyone's playing ocean on your team, then everyone's like, okay, everyone push towards the coasts. And if we can push them into the ocean, we kill them and generate fear, and so that's just such a fun thing to have on your team. On top of that, this spirit's just so fun. You have so much destructive power on the coast specifically. Mid to late game, you can destroy 2 cities on the coast in 1 turn, which is absolutely insane. The amount of destructive power the ocean has is usually way more than I need. I think I could just play harder difficulties with him because he's so good. Whenever he drowns an opponent, then actually you can turn those invaders that you drowned into energy. And so very quickly, once you start drowning things, the ocean starts gaining so much energy because, again, everything he drowns becomes energy. So the ocean has some of the best energy game. That bird is really loud. So because of the amount of energy the ocean can gain so quickly, the ocean's ability to use major powers to its advantage is really high, and it's very, very fun because of that. I love when a spirit can gain tons of energy, but what's most fun about it is that I don't just gain a lot of energy, but I actually gain energy by killing people, which to me is just like the most fun. It's the best of both worlds. I love destroying invaders and generating fear, but I also love having a ton of energy to play really powerful cards. And sometimes the ones who gain the most energy are kind of slow, not super offensive, and so on top of that, when I first played this Ocean Spirit on Christmas Day of 2019, not even kidding, it was the best Christmas present I could have ever asked for. I was playing the ocean. I was playing a 4-player game with some of my best friends, and I was learning how the ocean worked, and I was like, okay, so my growth abilities, I put some presents in the ocean, and then, okay, I pushed them out of the ocean into coastal lands and get some stuff on the coasts, and then, oh, I'm out of cards, I need to reclaim, which is a normal cycle in the game. So you reclaim, and what happens then is that you gather 1 presence into each ocean, which means that your reclaim cycle is like the tides. You gain energy, you push it out, drown a bunch of guys, and then once you need to reclaim, you come back into the ocean. And that's just absolutely fantastic. That is just absolutely, I would say, just genius. I would call the Ocean Spirit genius. Also, when it comes to pairs of spirits and combos that I love the most, not even gonna joke, my 2 favorites are Ocean Endbringer and Ocean Wildfire. Can we talk about this color scheme right here? These 2 colors together are just so nice. So I feel like it's just such a good combo just because it just looks cool. It's got the aesthetics. So Ocean is part of my 2 favorite combos, and the other 2 spirits in those combos are my 2nd and 3rd favorite spirits, so it really all kind of just makes sense in the end. I really, really love the Ocean's Hungry Grasp, and I'm always down to play it. Anyways, that's my favorite spirit. Let me know in the comments if you agree, what you think about Ocean, as well as just what are your favorite spirits. If you've played Jagged Earth already, are there any spirits in Jagged Earth that have risen to the top, or do you really like the classics? I know that video actually I think took a little longer than I was expecting because I just got to talking again. But seriously, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below letting me know that you want to see more Spirit Island content. I would love to keep making videos about Spirit Island. This is my favorite game ever, so you already know. If you love Spirit Island and want to get better at the game because of how absolutely difficult it is, I have a video telling you about how to get better, how to win more, how to have more fun with this game. And I'll just put it right here. Make sure you watch that right now.